Hello, my name is Shantia. Are you or do you know someone that are suffering with depression? How do you guys cope with it? Do you guys take medications to lower the level of depression so it doesn't affect you as much? How does it make you view life? I know, someone that suffers from depression, and some days they feel as though they can conquer the world and they feel really good. They have positive energy and, they're doing good things. They're, goofy, they're laughing and joking. And some days they just feel like, life is better without them here and the world will be a much better place. They're down, they're, sad, they're blue. And sometimes there's really, no time for it. So they can think that, 1 minute they're happy, then the next minute they're sad, and you really just don't know, what triggered it or what happened in those moments to make them, all of a sudden change, their moods. Some good ways to cope with depression includes, eating healthy. Eating healthy is something really good because when you eat healthy, you put positive things into your body. Unlike, eating fast foods all the time, when you eat like salads and fruits and vegetables, it makes your body feel good. So, when you're eating, you know, strawberries or bananas or whatever kind of fruits and vegetables you like, and proteins, you're eating right, you're exercising is a good key as well. Taking walks, it doesn't have to be yoga or anything, but you can just take walks, get in tune with nature. That can really help too, because you can get some positive energy and let go of your negative energy. Exercising really does help a lot because when your body feels good, your mind feels good, you're able to, feel better, you're able to do better. Music can also be an outlook for depression, an outlet, because, you listen to the music, you listen to these songs, and you feel like you have someone, that you can relate to, someone, that understands you, and you feel as though you're not alone. How does people get depression? People can get depression from, different ways. There's not just one, cause for depression. It can be passed on from generations. It can be from, it can be physically, it can be mentally, emotionally. It can be from death. It can be from, just being stressed out. Death can be a big influence on going into a depression, because everybody handle grieving differently. Everybody grieves differently. So, as though some people may talk about how they feel or, what's going on with them, some people will just shut down and they won't talk about it. And then, all of the anger and hurt will just be balled up in them. And then they'll just break down. They'll just go into, their safe place within themselves and just, not talk to nobody, just keep everything and everybody out of the loop. Family history can also be one of the main things in depression, because if you're growing up with, negative energy and negative people, it can, come into you. You can be just like that because that's all you ever known. You haven't known anything positive or anything inspirational. It's always been, negativity around you. So it can just be from generations. Who can get depression? Is it more common in men or women? Anybody can get depression. It's more common in, I would say, teenagers and young adults, and also the elderly. For teenagers, it's more so, them growing up and them, learning themselves, exploring themselves, going into adulthood, and, just trying to get a sense of the world and see, where they stand within the world as they're, growing up and turning into men's and women's. So sometimes they're going through things and they think, no one else has been through those things. And they just feel like they can't talk to anyone, or no one understands where they're coming from. And young adults, we feel as though we should have our life all together, and we should have degrees, and we should buy houses, and we're supposed to be married at a certain age. And, sometimes when those things don't come when we want them to come, where we just start to, stress ourselves up and just go into a sunken place. And when the elderlies, when they get elderly and they get older, and you know, they can't do things for themselves, and they can't bathe themselves and feed themselves, and they can't walk, they start to think, you know, and dwell on the past. Like, you know, I used to be able to do this for myself, and I used to be able to walk, and I used to be able to bathe myself. And they start thinking that they're becoming a burden on other people. So, you know, they start to, you know, just feel bad for people having to do things for them and having to, you know, help them. Today, I have informed you guys about causes and effects of depression and ways that you can cope with them, and how people view themselves and, you know, view the world when they're dealing with depression, and some different ways that you can use, you know, to cope, which includes eating healthier, exercising, you know, listening to some music. Depression can be a deadly illness. I know it just won't go away, but these are just some tips and some tricks to help you guys, you know, not feel alone